Guys, welcome back to my channel or my page. Forget this is Facebook. So I'm gonna come and talk to you guys about this topic that's been on my mind. Hopefully before it gets dark. Just got off the train, leaving my internship site. Had a great day today. So they went by pretty fast. I'm like, golly, can't believe it, you guys. Next week is finals week. It's my last week of this semester, so I'm wrapping it up. And everything is going well so far, you guys. Oh, not dating either. I'm about to get into this topic in a minute, y'all. I have a lot to say on this dating white or black man. As you guys can see, I'm out here in Hollywood, my neighborhood. I'm about to get into it, y'all, because I got a lot to say on this topic. It's like, it actually was inspired by a conversation I was having with my nephew, because he saw my video. He saw my video on broke men, right? And so I think he got offended by it, being that he is a, black man. I don't know why would he take offense to it, but like, that's just my personal choice. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. Please go back and watch my video on broke men, because I had a lot to say in that video. He calls it a rant. I'm like, rant? I'm not ranting. I'm telling the truth, you guys. This is the God honest truth. This is the God honest truth. This is not a rant. Hollywood, y'all. Hollywood. Alright, let me get off this busy street, because I get easily distracted. I'm trying to focus. Hey, hold on, y'all, look. What they doing to this museum? Oh my God, who gave me to the museum, y'all? Alright, so let me get off this busy street so I can get into this topic, y'all. Whew, because I do have a lot to say on this, and alright, if you guys are kind of sensitive, I advise you guys to exit this video right now, because I think sometimes my opinions are kind of so far off, they're so different than what most people think, that people be taking offense to what I have to say. They get like all bent out of shape, and I'm like, that's just my opinion. So thank you guys, who exited this video, because I ain't trying to be going back and forth for nobody on this video. These are just my thoughts, y'all, and it is what it is. So as the topic suggests, white men versus black men, what's the difference? I think that, especially in this day and age, it's definitely a huge difference between white men and black men, and especially when it comes to what's practical, what's necessary. I might have to just wait till I sit down so I can really get settled and really get focused. But as you guys may know, I was in a 3-year relationship with a guy. It ended back in September, I think it was, around September, October. And we're not together. I'm okay with that. I feel like my life is getting better, like I'm getting more focused and just being able to get in tune with who is Danielle. You get what I'm saying? I'm 34 years old, getting more in tune with myself, my own interests, personal interests. And sometimes I think when you all in love and you got your mind focused on, one person or whatever, it can kind of distract away from, getting distracted away from, like, who you are as a person, right? Like, what you want out of life. So sometimes being single, is good. But having that discussion with my nephew today, and he was like, it was interesting. We was going kind of back and forth, talking about this issue about broke men and how I don't think people understand. I don't think people get it. I don't think y'all understand, y'all. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it, so let me get positioned. I'm about to go ahead and sit down and start talking to you guys about this because some people just don't get it. You know, the importance of certain things, you know. Some things are just necessary when it comes to a relationship. For me, anyway. I don't know about y'all women, but I got standards when it comes to a relationship. Kind of picky. And I feel like ain't nothing wrong with being picky. Y'all need to start being picky too. Women better know their goddamn worth, man. Y'all better recognize y'all worth. Oh, somebody, okay, she at my table. I'm gonna sit at the other table. Somebody's sitting at my table. But I'm gonna try to do this video in less than an hour because I do have quite a bit to say. Let me get to this table and sit down. Ain't got any no kids out here. So a whole bunch of kids out here screaming and yelling. Okay. Ooh, I gotta pee. All right, let me see. Can I go ahead and do this? All right, y'all. I'm about to get into this thing because y'all know me. When I get into it, I get into it. So, I am about to get into this topic. Ooh, shoot. Slanging my dang book bag. All right. So, broke men. No, this is not about broke men, but kind of in a way. That's my last video. This video is about white men versus black men. What is the big difference? You know, people say, oh, you know, race doesn't matter, right? You know, it doesn't matter a person's color, race. I wish I should have used a restroom. All right, let me try to focus, y'all. Focus. But, you know, so a lot of people say, you know, it doesn't matter the race of a person. Let me see, can I sit this down? I don't have to hold it. Say it don't matter the race of the person, right? You know, all that matters is that you fall in love. And excuse my bump, y'all. I think I'm ovulating. That's what's going on in my body and my system. So I got a lot going on right now. But thank God this is the end of the semester, you guys. My end of the semester. So a lot of people say a lot of things. Race don't matter. You know, dick size don't matter. Income don't matter. And I'm like, oh, to me, it does matter. You know, it matters. It matters. And all of those things, you know, race, dick size, income, you know, values are obviously important in a relationship. But I think what matters to the most to me, next to values, of course, is income. Your ass, you can't be broke. You get what I'm saying? You gotta have money. But I don't want to make this video about money. I want to make it about race because it kind of ties into that, though. It's kind of hard to talk about race without talking about money, you know, because we start talking about socioeconomic status when we're talking about race. And this is generally speaking. I'm not talking about every black man or every white man, you know. When I speak about, like, in terms of certain groups of people or races, I'm talking about generally speaking, right? So, you know, we know this is no surprise. This is nothing new that a lot of black men, you know, unfortunately, a lot of them are locked up, right? A lot of them are locked up in prison, in jail. A lot of them are convicted felons, even though they may be out of jail. She said, okay, Stacy says she's not dating either. I want you to explain it. If you're still watching, Stacy, let me know what you mean by you're not dating either. And help us understand what you mean by that. But, you know, a lot of them, even though they may be out of jail, right, they still have felonies. And, you know, there's a lot of issues going on, right, in the black community, you know, and especially with black men, just not in a good position, unfortunately. A lot of them, you know, struggle financially, being able to stay afloat. And that's kind of what inspired this vlog, this video, because my nephew, he saw my last video about broke men, and I think he got offended. I really do think he got offended. Not saying he's broke or anything, but I don't know. I think he got offended because he was like, you know, he basically kind of said that my video comes off as if I'm a gold digger. And I'm like, interesting, gold digger. But I don't consider myself a gold digger. I consider myself a woman who knows what she wants out of life. A woman who is very goal-directed, goal-driven, you know, strong. Gold digging is something different. I had to clarify, what I meant by my video, because I think he took it as like he said, it comes off as if I'm a gold digger. Because I talk about finances and I talk about it's the importance of men having money. Like, in order for me to be attracted to a man, he has to have some money. He can't be broke. I'm sorry. That don't fit well in my book. You know what I'm saying? He can't be broke. And what I mean by he has to have money, he has to be able to support. He has to be able to provide for himself financially. He has to be able to take care of himself. If he can't take care of himself, then he ain't gonna be able to take care of me. Now, let me set some things into context. I'm single. I don't have any kids, y'all. I don't have any kids. I'm not looking for a man to come in and take care of me and my kids. No. What I'm saying, what I mean by, a man has to be financially stable, and secure and fit, is that this is my thinking, right? This is my line of thinking. That if a man is able to take care of himself, and not only that, but able to provide for his woman and his, a child, then that sets our relationship up for success, right? Because I see a lot of women who struggle to raise kids by themselves. And I think that has been my biggest fear as a woman. Just, the what if. What if I fall in love with a guy and get pregnant and I end up like the other women, where I'm having this, we fall out, me and the guy, we have our differences, irreconcilable differences as they call it. You can't get to the bottom of your problems or whatever, and we end up falling out, and then I'm not able to, I get pregnant, let's say, and not able to, I'm pretty much left with having to take care of the child by myself. Not to say that a woman is not capable of being able to take care of a child by herself, because, a lot of women rise to the plate. We rise, and we do what we got to do. I see a lot of women that do that, and I take pride in those women. I have much respect for women who rise to the plate and say, you know what, this guy left me, this guy, doing what he doing, whatever, doing what men do, but I'm going to still be a good mother, and I'm going to be a good mother to my kids and take care of my kids, right? It takes a lot. I feel like it takes a lot of humility, a lot of courage, a lot of strength, a lot of everything to be able to do that. And so I pride women who are able to do that, but I've always had that fear, like, I don't want that to be me. So I think alongside that fear, I always had these kind of stipulations and standards, and the man that I choose to become attracted to or choose to date, in that respect, that, he has to be, like, I ain't saying he got to be no Bill Gates, get what I'm saying? He don't have to be rich, he don't have to be in the top 1%, as they say, but damn, he has to be financially stable. And not only that, he has to communicate that to me and give me the certainty to know that, okay, if we get pregnant, I'm good. You get what I'm saying? We're good. Point blank. No questions asked. And the way I'm able to assess that, number one, is if he has his own place. Because a lot of guys, I'm back in the dating scene now, which is kind of fun. It's kind of exciting. I've been out for like 3 years. Like I said, I've been in a 3-year relationship with my ex, who I met in New York. And, just kind of getting back in the dating scene and seeing how things are. I'm like, wow. Things have changed, but not really that much, Man, it's sad. And I want to be able to use this video to speak my mind. That's why I'm like, if y'all can't handle the truth, please exit, y'all, because I'm going to say it like it is. But I find it very unfortunate. A lot of men just, I'm like, I would be single before I settle for a man, just to say I have a man, or just to say, I don't know, just to say I'm in love, because a lot of men cannot provide for themselves. Like what I've been noticing, you got a lot of men that still staying at home with their parents, still staying at home with their mom, they have a roommate, they broke. I talked about that in my last video. This video is not about that, but I'm kind of building upon what I want to say in this video. But these men are dead ass broke, and I'm like, dude, I'm looking at it like this, hypothetically speaking. If you broke, if you looking for me to move in and pay half of your bills, right? Because some people say it should be 50-50. So pay half of your bills. I'm like, dude, what happens if when I get pregnant, and I'm not going to be able to work if I'm pregnant, And once I have the baby, I'm home taking care of the baby. Shit, I want to be a stay-at-home freaking wife. I want to be a stay-at-home. Not to say I can't work. I'm not going to school to get my PhD for nothing. So I'm a working woman, definitely. You know, and I own my own businesses. But I'm thinking, you know, in terms of, can a man just be able to handle it on his own? Can he be able to take care of a family on his own? That's the kind of man I'm looking at. Those are the kind of men I'm interested in. So having said all of that, y'all, that kind of leads into this video, right? About white men versus black men. What's the difference? And I don't want to make it to be about, you know, white men are better than black men. I hope you guys don't take that away from this video. But understand this. There are some things that a lot of white men have to offer that black men just don't have, you know, in terms of financial stability. Right? Because we know the way, unfortunately, the system is what it is, right? We were born into the system, it is what it is. And a lot of black, I already know I was going to make some of you guys upset. I knew it, you know? But I'm going to say this anyway. A lot of black men just are not positioned in our society to be able to do the things that I look for in a man, right? To be able to be financially independent, to be able to take care of not only himself, but me and our children. You know, whereas a lot of white men are. They can do that. You get what I'm saying? Not saying every white man. Of course, we know there's a lot of homeless white men, right? It's a lot of homeless white people, period, you know, in our society or whatever. So it's not necessarily about that. But I'm looking at, generally speaking, you get what I'm saying, in proportions, looking at the proportions. And I have to say that I think it is a higher proportion of white men compared to black who... it's a different perspective. I don't know. It's just a different frame of mind. You know, I haven't really been, I wouldn't say on the dating scene that long, but just from what I have observed, just like the mindsets of men. I don't know, what kind of men are they raising? Like, where these men come from? But a lot of men kind of expect, you know, somehow 50-50. I'm like 50 in terms of finances, right? Financial responsibility. I'm like, not that I can't provide, right? Not that I can't contribute to the finances. Not that I don't have, you know, the money to do that. But 50-50, you know, and then that lets me know how much, I don't know, that tells me how much money that a man has, right? His ability. You looking for something that's 50-50. You broke. That's just how I look at it. You broke, dude. You know, you broke. Because what I'm saying is the kind of man that I'm used to, right? And I've been in, you know, a few relationships. My last relationship was 3 years. The one before that was 5 years. You know? I'm just used to men being able to provide. Even my first relationship when I was back in college. Freshman in college, you know? He took care of me. The one, that 5-year relationship. He took care of me. My last relationship, 3 years. He took care of me, meaning that these men, they worked. You get what I'm saying? They had enough money to provide, to be able to do it on their own, meaning without me in the picture, right? They had enough money to pay all of their bills. All I was, you know, basically was a person they fell in love with and moved in. You get what I'm saying? That's how I look at it, and that's how I think that things should go. Now, I know that's probably much different than what a lot of men and women are used to, or the way in which they see things and stuff, and that's to each his own, y'all. But where I'm at right now, that's exactly, it's probably getting dark too, so I'm going to try to help us finish this video. But that's just where I'm at. And it's kind of interesting because, you know, I'm like I said, I'm on the dating scene and I'm encountering men. You know, and I think that that's important to me. Values are important. You know, of course, I want to know where a man's head is at on certain issues and how he sees things. But if I ask a man, okay, do you live alone? Because that's one of my first questions I ask. And he tell me, oh, I have a roommate. You know, and I come to find out, I'm like, okay, well, how much are you spending towards rent? He go, oh, $400 a month. Hell no. I'm like, I go the other way. I don't care how fine he is. I don't care none of that shit. You get what I'm saying? But you talking about $400. I mean, that's all you can afford? Dude, I'm in a position where I'm about to buy a house. So even if we were to do it 50-50, you talking about all you got to bring is $400. Like, nah. You get what I'm saying? And then talking about, oh, kids. Because I don't have kids and my clock is ticking. So I'm like, bringing kids into the picture and you ain't got it like that? No. Ain't no sense in me trying to even fall in love with a man like that. Hell no. You get what I'm saying? Hell no. Hell to the no. So, excuse me for my bluntness, y'all. You know, I know I'm stepping on some toes. I know it. Because things, like I say, even the way my nephew put it, he said, is, how you call it? He said it's been a transition, it's a shift. He says it's a shift in our culture and, in our society. Things ain't like they used to be. Historically, we look at the structure of a family and relationships between men and women. Men were the providers. Men could take care of, they can hold their own, man. I need a man that can hold his own. You get what I'm saying? And when I come into the picture, guess what? He already established. He already got his, he ain't got necessarily got to have a house. Everybody ain't got no house, right? But damn, dude, at least have your own place. You get what I'm saying? I got my own place, paying $1,800 a month for my apartment where I live in Hollywood. You get what I'm saying? I know what I bring to the table, but I don't get it, And they say, oh, well, that's gold. You're a gold digger. That's gold digging. I say, no, let me clarify. This is gold digging. Gold digging is when a woman don't have her own. She can't take care of herself, and she seeks out relationships with men who take care of her, right? Because she cannot take care of herself. And not only that, she's just trying to pull and suck money out of these men. That ain't me. I don't ask a man for nothing. My past relationships, I don't ask a man for money. Hell no. I have my own money. I don't need a man for nothing. Men think of gold diggers, they think of a woman asking a man for money, to get her nails done, her hair done, and all this extra shit. Like, dude, I got dressed. I do my own hair. You feel me? I don't need a man for that. Sometimes I get my nails done. I pay for that my damn self. I do self-care activities. I go to the spa and get massages. That's all me, dude. You get what I'm saying? So I don't understand where this gold digging attitude come from, as if I'm, just because I have this perspective that I'm a gold digger. And I'm like, that ain't what it is. I'm a financial planner. I'm thinking in terms of the future. I'm thinking in terms of, okay, we fall in love. And what comes after that? We're going to have sex. I love sex, right? We have sex. Shit, I'm pretty fertile. I can mess around and get pregnant. I will be damned. I'm not going to be one of those women that is raising a child by myself because a man is just broke. I talked about it in my last video. Go back and watch my last video, you guys, about broke men, but just broke. You get what I'm saying? And then you have issues around finances, and no wonder why, like they say, the divorce rate in America is 50%. One out of every 2 marriages end in divorce. It's because of finances a lot of times. The motherfucker is broke. Broke. Not to say white man ain't broke, but dog, I know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about men in terms of position of power. Men who are in positions of power, who are making 6 figures or more. Typically, who is that? That's white men. Not to say black men can't make 6 figures or more. Of course, there are black men who are. You get what I'm saying? But they come few far in between. That's just me, y'all. That's just my preference and what I look for in a man. So here comes this video. White men versus black men. And I just kind of want to go ahead and keep it real and say that I think my perspective on race has changed since I've broken up with my ex-boyfriend. Now, he was this kind of man, not to say too much about him, really, but, I would say, he has a good heart, right? He has good intentions, but I guess, being a black man living in America and just the struggle, right? It has an effect on a lot of us where we become bitter, we become angry, we become a lot of things that just aren't good, And I was having this discussion with an African guy who was saying that racism, it really boils down to hatred. When a person is racist, it really boils down to the fact that they have hate. It's about hate. You get what I'm saying? We know racism, yes, is about power, right? And oppressing people so that another group of people can remain in power. But the root of it, I think he did make a valid point that it's about hatred. Hate. And I saw that at my ex-boyfriend when it came to us discussing, these race relations, talk about white people and oppression. We would talk about that. And just seeing he had hatred towards white people. Hatred. Just, even to the point where he was saying that the solution to
this whole issue about racism and racial oppression and discrimination really just boils down to, he said, just go out and kill all white people. That's like, that's hatred right there. You get what I'm saying? And of course, me, I'm not that. I'm total opposite. I'm not that. I don't have that viewpoint. I don't think that killing white people or all white people is a solution to the problem. You get what I'm saying? But that's how he thought. And it's funny because I think it had an impact on me while we were dating. You know, he had very strong views, you know, as it relates to white people. I think it really impacted me while we were dating. So to the point where actually it kind of inspired my research. So, you know, I don't think before I met him, I mean, I've always had an interest, right, in the black community and giving back. Always been very passionate about that. But in terms of my research interest, you know, and looking at black identity development and implicit racial bias, I think he kind of inspired that in a way, you know. And not only that, but I think like just being with him for that long and just being around that and being around his, like, you know, we were in love, you know. So, of course, a lot of times when you're in love, what one person thinks, you be start to think. You know, if your partner thinks a certain way, you start to think like that. Like, it started to rub off on you. And the hostility, you know, and the anger. And I think I had become a victim of that in that my past relationship, where it was just so much bitterness and anger. And, you know, it's just not healthy. You know, we would sometimes argue about that because we would be out in public and he would just be like, you know, being mean towards white people and calling them crackers. And, you know, the white man ain't did nothing to him. And he was just, you know, saying things. I'm like, leave the white people alone, you know. But because he walked around with this hostility, it's like just in him, you know, based on whatever his experiences, you know, lived as a black man in America. And I'm noticing, I say that to say that I noticed since we've separated, I think some things have changed with respect to my perspective on life, you know, and race relations. It has changed because before I met him, you know, I didn't have this idea of separation, you know. It was more about integrating. It was more about, in relation to white people, right? It was more about integrating and, I don't know, just advancing up the ranks and things like that. But when I got with him, his view was just so powerful and so overpowering to the point where, you know, I had developed an ideology of separation as black people, right, from white people, and just, you know, white people being over here, we over here, just separation, right? And then now, you know, I'm just being very honest and transparent with you guys because that's just kind of person I am. And then now I notice it's like, you know, I'm kind of back to my old ways. I'm kind of back to my old way of thinking, you know, where before I came across him, I was open to dating interracially. I didn't see anything wrong with it, right? But with him, he's just like, oh, you know, black this, black that. He was like, just everything black. Black is this. Black is better than white, you know. Just emphasizing all of that about black this being better than white people and da-da-da-da-da. Right? And for a minute, I thought that it was good. You know, I thought that, okay, you know, nothing, what's wrong with black power? What's wrong with black appreciation, you know? And still to this day, I feel like there's nothing wrong with, you know, of course, having a sense of black pride. I'm all for it. You know, I ain't cutting my dreads. My dreads ain't going nowhere. You know, I love my nappy hair, y'all. But in terms of just my perspectives and my beliefs with respect to relating to white people or people of a different race, you know, I'm feeling good about it. I feel good in myself and knowing that I'm kind of going back to my old self before I met him and being more like intercultural and more multicultural in my perspective and in my relations to other people, period. I appreciate that. You know, I don't know. I feel like I'm moving towards a healthy state of mind, a more healthier state of mind anyway. as it relates to race relations. And so being that I'm single right now and I'm like in the dating scene and looking to meet people, I'm like, you know what? It is no harm in dating outside of one's race. I feel like, because what that was about was hatred. His whole ideology about staying black, sticking to the black, staying with basically staying black, doing everything black, right? We gotta be black this. And I'm just like, I think it's a very narrow way of thinking. Very narrow way of thinking. So like I said, I'm feeling good about this. I'm feeling pretty good about stepping outside of my race. And, because even when I was younger, right, and just going through high school and college, I had white friends, and I've actually dated white guys before. I've dated outside my race. It's not something new to me, right? Not long term. I haven't dated a white guy long term, but I have, I've befriended and dated white guys and stuff. And, I feel like it's just, I want to be in a position to be more open-minded when it comes to race relations. That's what I'm thinking, y'all. And so that's why I made this video to say white men versus black men. What's the big difference? What's the difference, y'all? What's the big difference between the two? Is there a real difference? I know a lot of y'all watching this video and you probably say, yeah, it is. You should keep it black. Stay black. Don't cross over. You cross over, you're going to have mixed kids and they're going to be confused, right? And I'm just like, really? I think that may not be such a bad idea. Think about it. Because lately I've been getting some white men hitting on me, y'all. And they don't look too bad. Shit. I'm like, y'all don't know where I'm at right now. I'm just saying I'm not desperate, never desperate. I'm always thinking in terms of what's the best for not only me, but an unborn child who was brought into the picture. I'm always thinking in those terms, right? In terms of an unborn child and what is not just best for me, but if I fall in love with a guy and we lay up and I get pregnant, what is going to be in the best interest for that child? And if I don't see the person I'm with, I don't see them being a good father to the child, and hell no, you can forget about a love relationship, So I always think long term, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, would it be such a bad idea to date outside my race? Would it be such a bad idea to date a white man or to date a Latino guy? What do you guys think? Have you guys dated interracially? What was it like if you did cross over and date outside of your race? I feel like it's going to be problems either way. Some people say, oh, well, you're going to have issues. You're not going to be able to understand each other. You're going to have cultural differences. But I'm like, shit. My last relationship, we were both black, but he was Jamaican. I was African American, so we had cultural differences. So you might as well say I would date outside my race with dating my ex-boyfriend because, even though we both had black skin, he was darker. His skin was darker than mine, but we still had differences. We still had a lot of issues, just within our own culture. And though we share the same black culture, we don't share the same ethnicity. You get what I'm saying? But him being a Jamaican and me being an African American. So I feel like, what's the difference? That's where I'm at right now. What's the difference? If I was to date a Latino guy or date an Italian guy, shit. You get what I'm saying? Especially these men, like, shit, I'll take care of you. You can move in with me. I always get text messages. Ugh. All right. So I'm like, what's the difference, Especially it's not just about that, but if he understands certain values, or he understands certain principles, that a man is supposed to be a man should be the provider. A man, it shouldn't be foreign. My idea is that it should not be foreign to a man to be a provider. And I'm noticing that. So when I have discussions with a lot of sexy black men, right? Well-grown, well-dressed. They got well-paying jobs. But it's something about a lot of black men. Unfortunately, it's an issue about respect, and that's what I really want to talk to you guys about in this video: respect. You know, because you know, you got a black man that's balling, right? They got money, you know, that meet those standards. But you know, unfortunately, a lot of them, they'll be saying, "Oh, you're my queen, the queen," but they don't a lot of times half of them don't even treat black women as queens. But you'll have a white man that will say queen and really mean that shit. Now, I'm speaking in general terms, y'all. So, this don't apply to all white men. But I'm just saying, generally speaking, you got white men that when they refer to a black woman as a queen, they really do see a queen in her. They know. White men know. White people, y'all don't realize this. You got white people that may be like, oh, they, you know, nigger this, da, 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 da. Those are those white people. But deep down inside, sorry, you guys. Deep down inside, a lot of white people really know what's up. They know, you know what I'm saying, the worth of black people. They know the value of a black woman. They see it and they appreciate it. You get what I'm saying? Know how to treat a black woman. Know how to take care of a black woman. A lot of people talk about Eve. Y'all remember Eve, right? Got a man I think I'm gonna love forever. Y'all remember Eve, right, from the 90s? Rapper, female rapper. Now, a lot of people, she got a lot of criticism for marrying a billionaire. She went off and married this billionaire white man, right? And I think he's from the UK or wherever the hell, London, or Europe or somewhere. I think over there, right? But anyway, she married this white man. She's black. She's a sister. And she got a lot of backlash for that. But on one hand, and then think about it, the guy, he ain't necessarily all that attractive, you know, by most people's standards, right? He's not the best looking white guy. But guess what? She look happy. She's in love. You get what I'm saying? Some people don't understand that that's really what a woman wants. That's what's most important, to be treated with kindness and respect as a woman should, to be appreciated, to be valued, you know, and to be taken care of. That's to be valued, to be taken care of. That's what a woman is looking for. I know that's what I want. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, and it is the end of the day because I got to get home and go get me some food and get ready for my class tomorrow. But at the end of the day, it's like, shit. That's what it really boils down to. That's what a woman wants. A woman wants to be appreciated, to be valued, to be taken care of, you know, to be made to feel good. And when I had to bring the example of my ex and how he just had this hatred towards white people, because I want to say that it really boils down to hatred. And when you have a hatred towards anybody, right, that hatred, a lot of times, it grows on the inside to the point where that hatred becomes generalized to everybody. It's not that you just have a hatred towards white people. He ended up having a hatred towards everything. You get what I'm saying? You just hate people. It's like when you have hate in your heart. That's what I'm trying to say. When you have hate in your don't matter about, okay, for a certain race, it ain't got shit to do with what it's for. You just got hate in your heart. That hate becomes a prevailing hate, where you start to hate people, period. And I feel like that's what happened with my ex. You get what I'm saying? So it just boils down to love. You know, forget, you know, black people try to say, oh, let's stick together. But a lot of black people got hate, just like white people have hate in their heart, right? They racist. A lot of black people, they counteract that racism. And they end up having, like they say, reverse racism, right? Or a hatred towards white people. And not only white people, but a hatred towards other black people too. They hate white people. They hate themselves. And that's what I saw. You get what I'm saying? My last relationship, it was just hate. Hate, period. Ain't got nothing to do with hate towards white people. You just hate. You got hate in your goddamn heart. And ain't no way love can live when you motherfucker got hate like that towards another person in their heart. You can hate evil. There's nothing wrong with hate itself, but it's how the hate is directed. What is it directed towards? You get what I'm saying? He had hatred towards white people. And in that, I don't feel like that was healthy. You get what I'm saying? Because that's just essentially you hating people, period. He would hate people just because they were white. You get what I'm saying? Just because. And that's just hate. When you boil down to hating a person just because they are a certain color, that just simply means you hate, period. You get what I'm saying? You just hate people, period. And when you hate people, period, I gotta get to the word or something like, because I know it's getting dark. But when you start to hate people, period, what good is that in a relationship? You get what I'm saying? Ain't no good in no damn relationship. You hating motherfuckers and shit. You get what I'm saying? You gotta love. Love. Relationship is about love. Love for yourself. Love for others. Love for people all together. That's what I'm about. That's the message of this video, y'all. Love. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if I can get love from, it don't matter. Like they say, love is blind. It don't matter the color. You know, if you can get love from a white person or a Latino person or whoever the fuck ever they is, you get what I'm saying? As long as that person has standards and morals, you know, and respect, then shit, I would take that. I would take love from a white man as opposed to just call myself being with a black person, but they have so much hate in their heart. That ain't gonna serve me well. That don't do nothing for me at all. So I had to say that. I had to come to y'all and talk to y'all about this because it's just something on my mind. And it's kind of like where I'm at right now, you know? And I can give two fucks about what people in the black community got to say or think about my decision to date outside of my race, because guess what? I'm open. I'm very open-minded. And I feel like it's no different from integrating and going to working for the white man. You get what I'm saying? Or patronizing white businesses. People like to say, oh, don't date this, don't marry this, stick within your own race. Well, hell, what's the difference between doing that? Dating interracially. Hell, you basically doing business interracially. You know, when you take your dollars to a white business, right? You know, or if you live in a white neighborhood, you living interracially. We all do shit interracially. So what's the difference? If you go to a white school, you learn it interracially. You get what I'm saying? You work for a white man. You working interracially. So what is the freaking difference? What is the difference, y'all? I don't understand. We live in an integrated society anyway, so at this point, how I look at it, it boils down to what a person's soul needs. You know, we have all these different things about this and that, trying to keep separate and all that. But baby, one thing I know, a person's soul can't tell the difference. Love is love. That's just like a little baby who is abandoned. You think a little black baby who is abandoned can care less about where they get their love from? No. Or it could be a white baby, any color baby. It don't matter. That baby just wants to be loved. So I can identify with that. Maybe I'm just a baby that just want to be loved. We all just want to be loved, right? And not just love, but you know, I have a lot of love to give, and I'm at that point right now, you know. And it's cuffing season. Ooh, I like messing with this phone. Y'all should know. My views are way far off. Way, way far off. But it is getting late. I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog real quick. I enjoyed having this discussion and getting my point of view across. And I do welcome, you know, you guys to share your opinions and thoughts below, respectfully. You know, to each his own, right? We all have our preferences and what we want in life. And that's just where I'm at right now. And I'm feeling good, y'all. It's like the second to last week. Well, this is the final week of class, and the next week is finals. But really, I'm pretty much done. I'm almost done with this semester, y'all. Done. So excited. It's like, y'all just don't realize I'm getting closer and closer to my dreams. I'm living my dreams, really, but I have a lot of things in life I want to accomplish, you know, a lot of goals. So, you know, becoming a licensed psychologist and working towards my PhD is one of those goals. And it's just so beautiful, y'all. I'm about to go ahead and head home and end this video here, and I want to
you guys take a peek. Look, y'all, I don't know if you guys can see down that way, but they got all the Christmas lights and stuff set up. And like everybody's in the Christmas spirit. So, anywho, let me go to end this video. And I thought that you guys would have more to say and comment, but I think y'all be scared. Y'all be scared to talk to me. Y'all be scared to tell me how y'all feel about certain things. Don't be scared. You get what I'm saying? As long as you do it respectfully, because y'all know I'm quick to delete and ban motherfuckers from my page. I will do that shit quicker than a heartbeat. But I do welcome different perspectives, so feel free to comment below. No matter what race you are, comment below and share your thoughts and let me know how you feel about this. And I'm about to go home and get me something to eat and get ready for class. So I'll catch you guys later. Love you guys.